I'm just gonna need a little bit more time over the person. Well, that's, I am, you know.
Like usually someone.
Whatever you do.
That's, oh. The button?
No.
And just on power.
Don't. I just don't.
If you say it's okay,
I know that. I'm gonna. Oh, there's 3 buttons.
Wait, did I have that?
By me,
Yeah. Huh?
by me.
You want? Go back to
I mean, it's like last couple. Next week is Calvin. We now it's like. I just put a recommendation.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, we got a bucket. No, we don't need it. No wonder. Thank you.
You want?
Should be. You're actually right. How to put it in the wrong.
You got hell of a shit. Not just I will. No, I swallow. I need to like. There's one that talks to. You like it? I really do.
The only one.
Just have. And then. If this is showing. It's not even this week's. Funny here, bro. It's tomorrow.
Oh my, no way, bro.
We have to meet in person. Yeah. Wait, Victor, are you going to? Two online. Yeah.
So I never need to.
They're trying to pack their GE. See, okay, don't like, I don't want to. No, it's just, I don't even know where he acted. Just shoved it on me. Yes, bro. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, no more that next year.
No, this is. Oh,
No way. No, just you want to go.
I've been there.
One.
Oh, yeah, what? And so we're not. It's a tick. For the mom.
Oh, darn it.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't mean for? No quorum?
One person.
Oh.
Nobody.
I never thought you were having. What's the? I never thought you were having.
What is our basket? We're not being funded. What is our basket? Wait, why don't we meet one?
We need 16.
Oh.
Big current there?
I don't have it.
Wait. Like the exec count, right?
No, only this year exact and this year's others.
What happens if one, two, three,
We end the meeting.
Oh, no meeting.
To adjourn.
When did you use that?
Since summer, bro.
Wait, yo, where'd Nico and Kate go?
Huh?
You were like 15 minutes. Wait, I can't write this up. Yeah, I need this for my video. Yeah, I need this for my checklist. You gotta get it done.
Why she there?
Can I be a substitute?
Open up
Can I
the.
be a sub?
You want to share?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Wow, where did this go?
You guys are already know, right?
Where did this
I have a room for, like. Oh, it wasn't I thought you like you play on NBA, so like that's stupid. That's all you got here.
Don't you work?
No one did this.
Yeah.
I'm earning money right now. I could have been earning like sweet 15, we need 16. Senators do we have? Oh, sweet 30.
We need half of us to go.
Yeah.
Wait, then you guys would-
You know what those guys are? He's caught it.
We need that.
No, sorry.
Bro, please. Anybody.
We're supposed to pay. The last time I called him, he was last week.
Don't get it. No, we gotta.
Bro, we got no quorum right now. We got no quorum right now. Oh my God. So last we got their quorum.
I mean, up to them.
We hired.
Yeah, this is.
Actually, but.
I just wait. You're speaking about.
Oh, no, they're all. They're all in China. It's not a choice. But. Are you?
You know, for our band, everybody knew what you were having. I really know. I mean, it doesn't even have all these all the.
Okay. Joel's reason doesn't have it. He just, he can't get her.
Oh, yeah. Wait, you guys actually have to use that one, but that's. I know. No, bro, we did it. What do I tell Bruce? I need to develop that. And so generally, we find out you. I don't want to find. Oh, start. Oh, okay, so they were just like. There were other two like. Oh, yeah, that's.
So I think. Yeah.
I've been in person last month. So yeah. No, like.
That's probably.
I think she. But yeah, she just.
Oh, you know, I
had to take and get a. And it's a thing.
yeah. Wait, why did you do it?
Oh, I thought you see everybody in the. I don't know. Oh, yeah, but yeah. Yeah. Oh, not really.
That's why they all do that.
It's not like that. It's well, kind of pretty much. This year's not. It used to be pretty bad. Once the Call taps were submitted or they received their responses. They. This year's. Yeah. How long do we wait?
He didn't even start or anything.
No, we have.
Like 15 minutes. Yeah.
But I think, yeah. Funny. I'm just like, come on.
It's going to be everything.
You understand that?
Well, they did.
I use it. Like he didn't miss years. Then it turns out they have this thing called and left, and then it's just like.
And I think the reason I had one people that is doctor, and then they give us all of that. Oh, yeah.
Actually, also.
How's that?
That's been cheated, right?
So, we can just send it. We can just send it. Yeah.
You did scam shop.
So.
They just charge you $100 for one mission.
I need the water. I so you're not water. I'm not. It's the water. That's great. You're going to. Why did? Look at this box, bro. We need to see if they're.
Nico and I are bro.
Resend it out. Okay. Let's say.
Thank you.
Well, you saved my checklist, bro. I even told.
This Senate.
What will we do without you?
Once again, what seems to be.
I start this meeting at 4:21 PM. He is not.
Yeah, I can take the.
Dennis will be taking roll call.
It's busy. It's 4:21 p.m. Lydia Walls.
Here.
Isaac Sang.
Excuse.
You. Excuse me. Isa Rashad. Here. Hannah Ramon. Not here. Caitlin Q. Okay. Asia Sheikh.
Running late.
Okay. Joel A. Okay. Javier Gomez Tagle. Javier. Ariana Aguilar.
Here.
Ian A. Here. Ed No. Here. Megan Chang.
Here.
Benjamin Fergana. Here. Branchi Koopa.
Excuse me.
Leandre Lee. Here. Christopher Blue Local. Here. Aaron with Nixon. He's excused.
Yeah.
Ria Rondala. Adrian Sedgwick. Yeah. Jenna Sharif. Jenna. Jason Tanjari. Jason Tanjari. Here. Nicholas Stranga. Here. Kate Wang.
Yes.
Matthew Fernandez.
Here.
Daniela Rios. Okay, Matsuko Estrada Nakamatsu.
Like,
Eddie Nam.
Yeah.
Anish Shamarao.
Excuse me.
Javin Koo.
Here.
Chun Ho Lee. Okay, that's everybody.
Okay. There does need to be a correction made to the approval of minutes. Matthew was put as excused, but you were running late.
no, the other way around.
Other way around. So, they were running late and they were put down as.
No, I was excused and I was put down in front of it.
Okay, they were excused and they were put down as running late.
I was too. I was sort of running late about
And same with Chris.
So, so Matthew should have been excused absence, and Chris, what was that?
I should have been excused.
You've also been excused.
Do you all know where the rest of the folks are? Are they not coming for some reason? We barely made quorum tonight.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the corrected minutes? Isaac?
Approve the corrected minute.
Okay, can I get a second? I second. Okay, motion made by Ian and seconded by John. Okay, moving on. Are there any public comments?
Are there any objections?
Oh, are there any objections to the corrected approval minutes? Okay, so objections, moving on to public comments. Are there any public comments? No public comments. Are there any advisor announcements?
Apologies for being late. I was actually off campus meeting with a former San Jose State University student and, I haven't seen her like in 6 years. So, yeah, so, gosh, this is the time of the year when things start to kind of slow down a little bit. I am curious where the rest of the current senators are. So if maybe someone could put something on Discord, like, where are you? Because we're not done yet. This is the second to the last meeting though. So, as you all know, next Wednesday is our end of the year reception, banquet, dinner, whatever you want to call it. We do expect that you all be there. The incoming senators, you will be recognized at the end of the program as kind of a tradition that we do to recognize the new leadership for next year. So please plan on attending. We are going to have a full dinner, and many of you, as I understand, will be recognized in some capacity. So, so please put that in your calendar. It's during our Senate time between 4 and 6, and so we have a lot of fun surprises. It should be a great event. Other than that, as you all know, the carnival's tomorrow, so yeah, I mean, it's almost the end of May. Okay. Dennis, do you have anything? Oh, and just very quickly, Malia is online with us, I believe. And so we also taking minutes, so if you can all just the projector voice so he can capture everything, that'd be great.
Looks like we just joined.
Are there any advisor announcements via Zoom?
I will just add, again, for the carnival, if you haven't already and you're available to help, please sign up to volunteer, to check with Ria, Leandre, and Chunho. If you haven't signed up and you're able to, we appreciate all the support we can get. We're hoping for a great turnout, and things are looking, for the most part, ready, finalized. We have, some hiccups here and there, but for the most part, it's looking okay. But we could really use support throughout. Dana and I will again be here to support Dennis and Malia, if you're feeling better by then, no worries. But Dennis will also be here at the very least, making sure that college life is supported. If you've made purchases for this or any events for this whole year, remember to keep your receipts and get the reimbursement process done ASAP, because this funding does not roll over. June 14th is the deadline to get your check in a timely manner. If you submit between June 15th and June 30th, you will get it very delayed, but you will get it after June 30th. That's it. So make sure you do that. I'm putting this in the chat, but I don't think a lot of you are here online. But I put the link for the gala. All current and incoming DSG senators are invited. You are all sent an invitation. It was to your DeAnza emails. So some of you asked about that. It was sent to your DeAnza emails. So if you still have not, please RSVP like right now. We're trying to close it by 5 today so we can finalize the food order. But it's next week, and we really need to make sure that we have a final count. So it's in the chat. We need volunteers for graduation. That is going to be June 29th, Saturday, June 29th, the general DASG commencement. And then if any of you are representing a club, and a recognized ICC club, you can get a $50 club award added to your club's account in fall if you have at least 3 volunteers representing your club. So that could be members or officers. So we'll be promoting that widely very soon, but I can put the link in the chat for that as well, if that can be shared. I think that's it for now. Yeah, just I hope to see many, if not all of you, tomorrow at the carnival, supporting, and please make sure to spread the word, encourage folks to stop by.
Are there any other advisor announcements via Zoom? Okay, moving on. Are there any Senate announcements?
So, I mean, not sure if Marisa just mentioned it, but the carnival is tomorrow. And we need a lot of people to help us, so please sign up for a shift, even if it's just for like an hour. We're understaffed and we expect, you know, a lot of traffic. So sign up. It's an excellent field hour opportunity. You could even get all of them in one day if you really wanted to. So, yeah, Ria's gonna send the volunteer sign up sheet in the Senate chat.
Are there any other Senate announcements? No other Senate announcements? Are there any, well, student trustees and yourself, student trustees? Are there any external shared governance committee reports? Devin?
The curriculum committee attended me yesterday, but unfortunately the quorum was not met, and due to that, we'll have to push back the approval of CSDGE and the requirements. We'll be moving that to approval with compliance with AB and 9.5 next week. In person.
Eddie?
At the triple team met last week, and we talked about code of conduct, and we talked about the hiring policy for each member of the triple.
Any other external shared governance?
So we walked that yesterday and we just discussed it on the third quarter 2024, 2025 report draft. And the governor's 2025 May revision. District Budget Advisory Committee.
Are there any other external shared?
So classified met yesterday and they went over a program consultation committee, which is to like make recommendations to college committees and just in a more kind of efficient way. And so they discussed that and got some feedback on it. They also had everyone do their annual governance assessment survey, and then they also announced who I guess won their internal committee election.
Are there any other external shared governance committee reports? Moving on, are there any internal DSG committee reports? Copy?
As already met today, on editing for the content, which I think it was pushed to the for next fall. Right, okay, so that's okay, I make that, and then let's see. We're basically done with that heritage post for Pride Month, so we'll send that to marketing once we're done. And
What's the first one? It's right there yesterday.
today for editing the SRE code.
Caitlin?
We just have stuff in progress on the carnival and then the.
Are there any other? Isa?
Finance didn't meet because Memorial Day.
Programs met yesterday and we talked about, some interns and future chair are working on, an eco fund application, so they were, we're gonna finish talking about it, the finalization next week, and then flea market, there's also one this Saturday, and then we discussed the carnival.
Ted?
Administration met today and we discussed about the bylaws and the elections code changes. And then we also discussed about the financial aid resolutions.
Are there any other internal DSG committee reports? Okay, moving on. Can I get a motion to approve the consent calendar for May 29th? Kevin,
I will to approve the consent calendar for May 29th.
does anybody second? Javin? Second. Moved by Ted, seconded by Javin. Are there any objections? No objections, this motion passes. Moving on to business item 1. Business item, sorry.
Can I just get that moved in? Yeah.
It was Ted moved and Javin seconded. The first 2 business items, the presenter is not here right now. So we will move on to the 3rd business item, which is to approve the new DSG logo, and this will be presented by Javin. Yeah, yeah. On this presentation discussion. Yeah. So. Well, it was, we weren't going to utilize communication out of design. We were just gonna design ourselves, like we have a final. That's why we wanted to get shit approved and sent, because we didn't necessarily feel the need to reach out to office of communication.
Well, no.
Okay, yeah, we can do that too. Yeah.
Don't worry about it, we'll fix it.
Sounds good. Can I begin? Hello, everybody. My name is Javin Ku, and here is the presentation for the DHG new logo. First, I'll move on to why we're proposing the new logo. In reference, the DHG the logo is supposed to be representative of a student government. And although the current logo right now is a great logo and it does look good on promotional items and wear and whatnot, I don't believe it is the most representative of what a student government should embody. After all, a logo is the brand. It doesn't not only a part of the brand, nor is it advocating for the brand, but it is specifically the brand that we are portraying to those who are viewing it. For reference, these are some logos of other student governments. You can't really see everything else. This is four-year institutions. So this is USC student government, USC's undergraduate student government. This is Berkeley Haas, their logo, Harvard's undergraduate council, and then NYU student government. Now, in addition to these four, you can see that all four of them collude in the same professionalistic, simplistic design. If you compare it to our current logo, it is by no means of the same category. When you look at, for example, other community colleges, so the examples I gave you were four-year institutions. Obviously, four-year institutions are going to be a little bit different from community colleges, but even if we look at some of our fellow community colleges, this is Pasadena City College, and this is somewhere even closer by, San Jose City College. Both of their logos represent various things and have symbolism that portrays what their student government wishes to embody. If you look at our current logo, this is what it is. It's simplistic, yes, but it doesn't convey anything other than a conjoining of hands. And I don't believe that's necessarily what we want to represent as a student government. This is De Anza's own vision statement. It says, empower all students to attain their educational goals, develop an equity-based mindset, and become civic leaders to their communities. Now, I underline empower and equity-based, and that's what I wanted to majorly focus on for our student government logo. I'll now present to you the two proposed logos that we have, the mock-up designs, before we send it to the Office of Communications and Outreach for final design. So these are both made by Victor. Thank you, Victor. But these are two different colors of one of the same logo. The balance scale is meant to represent equity, and this right here is the founding of De Anza. And while this is a great logo, I actually prefer the second one, which I will show you now. Or this is the logo in comparison to the other two programs that we have here, De Anza, ICC, and Mentors at De Anza. Now, this is the logo that I personally prefer, as it symbolizes everything that De Anza has in their vision statement. The shield is a symbolism of empowerment, and then the balance scale is meant for the equity portion as well as justice. This is the shield by itself, which would what we'd be putting on our Instagram and other circular outlets, I guess. So yeah, that's the presentation on the logos. Please, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask now. Yes.
Well, one thing about what's shown on screen right now, SG already stands for student gov, so that's DASG, student gov. You know, you have to consider those things. It's basically saying stands for student gov, not student gov.
Well, the point of, I mean, if you look back here, like everybody knows HBSA is Berkeley Haas. That's Haas Business School. So I think that if Haas is doing it, it's not exactly redundant in the same regards to De Anza. If Haas is doing it. Any other
We
questions?
would know that it stands for student government, but I know a lot of folks.
That's what I'm saying. So it's to show, yes,
Yeah, no, we would know, but the average student wouldn't.
that's my point, is why why the student gov is there. If we just have DASG, then
I understand that. No, I'm just saying the way it's currently presented in this version.
Mhm.
Because the current DSG logo, we have the two versions, one that says DSG and
Yeah.
then one that says the
It's a student government.
in small text. And they're, you know, used in various different cases, you know, like if the logo is going to be really small, then we use the one that just says DSG letters. And then for things like ordering on shirts or whatever, we use that just says DSG, this, you know. Honestly, all that detail isn't necessarily on our shirt, maybe not the main stuff.
well, that's the point, which is why we have
But,
this.
Yeah, no, that's right. But,
You read it.
see, having DASG and student government that way is just a little, it should either be DASG or the end of student government or the end of student government parentheses, something like that. So it's clear what is being meant, but mixing half of one and the other one is a little confusing.
Yeah, we'll move on to the questions, or I think I'll take your hand for this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if you did like the Anza student government and like wrote it out instead, like on the right side?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Right here, like have the ANZA and then student gov,
No, like-
Above the DASG
above the DASG.
would be the answer. And then
Like
under
right
would
here.
be student government. No, the right side.
What are you saying, Austin?
No, I was saying like the Anza student government, like 3 lines, or that could work.
The ANZA student gov on this part right here?
No.
No, on the right side.
Okay, you don't have, yeah, the ANZA.
There's a one.
Sure.
Yes.
Can someone maybe put it back on the whiteboard, just write it out so people can visually see about it? But, so
Everybody quiet now, please. Thank you. Katya.
I just want to, so Dennis's point, basically for Berkeley Haas, the Berkeley Haas, like the one underneath, is like the name and brand that they use to advertise anything, but like the school itself is that's why it has the HDS,
ESA.
whatever, so that's it. So that's why that makes sense for them. For this is just like student gov, it almost, it's like a little unprofessional, and also like, I don't know if that's like the brands that we've been using, it's kind of just like a descriptor.
Okay,
So that's why I think in any case, that should probably go.
okay, okay, but I don't see why we need to remove the DASG portion in bold as that is the brand.
Right.
If you, yes, Dennis?
Could I suggest again for the professionalism aspect, the answer student and then under student government?
Yeah.
But then another option would be the ANZA and then DASB and then students and then government. So the DASG, yeah, so two possibilities.
Caitlin?
These ideas, but from a design standpoint, it is a little bit cluttered, so try to keep that in mind as well.
I think that the idea of the second one with the 3 lines is like, I understand that you do want to like explicitly state everything in the acronym, but having 3 lines might makes it a little bit overcrowded, especially when you're trying to control the font size and enable everybody to understand the brand of what DASG is. Nobody refers to DASG as the answer student, everybody just says DASG. I'm part of the DASG. So that's what we want to portray in order for students to be attracted. Yes, Katya?
I'll go back like to so instead of just having something that like basically repeats it, like what if you just do like empower and like instead of writing DASG, then empower and
Oh, so for the vision statement, the empower and the equity portion is signified and symbolized by the scale and then the shield.
right.
Correct.
So what I'm saying is, okay, well, just in my opinion, I don't know how empower and the shield, like those, that's not like where my mind normally goes to. But even besides the point, I'm saying like, instead of that student gov underneath, you replace those words with.
Empower and, okay,
Also, I feel like the scale doesn't imply equity, it implies equality, which is totally different. Yeah.
okay. That's fine. Yes.
Or when I first saw it, I thought justice.
Yeah, that's what I stated during the thing. I also said equity and justice, but. Yes.
I can't wait, so why are we changing the DSP logo?
So the reason why is I can go back, just quickly give you a brief overview.
Just, no, like the quick version.
Yeah, just quick,
After this.
look at these logos and then look at the
It's not
DASG.
special enough.
It's not professional.
Show.
That looks like a candy brand.
Okay, I get it, I get it.
Hey, Brad.
Like, yeah,
So I have the encourage by local for USD.
yeah,
You want to see it?
or it's up here, so.
No, this version have like the letter they write out and the font, so they divide it to 3 lines. And do you want to? See?
Oh, yeah, sure, why not? What did it say?
So undergraduate student government and this one they lower font.
Okay, what do you guys think about this then? We'll obviously work on the design itself, but the USC way they have it is, it's 2 bolded lines of undergraduate student government, which we could put De Anza student government, and then they have the University of Southern California where we can put empower and equity. So that's an idea that we can, and obviously, by the way, this is not finalized, we're gonna, like Dennis said, propose this to, we're just affirming the idea of a new logo, like a new brand, okay?
Right.
And then we'll send it to the Office of Communications in order to read from the design.
And it sounds like we need to settle on that.
That, yeah, exactly, that's what, so
Request and create.
is,
First of all, I love this idea because I always thought our logo was kind of cartoonish and doesn't really represent, like you said, I think our vision. What is that MC? Is that?
it's the founding year of De Anza.
Yeah, I don't know if that's necessary because it's just taking up space, I think, and maybe if we decide to go with the shield, which I'm not totally fond of because I think the imagery that comes to my mind is like war and
Okay,
doesn't really seem. And kind of almost like colonialism to some extent, and a very Eurocentric kind of, I know that other countries use the shield in weaponry, but that's what comes to my mind. And then not to, because I think, Victor, thank you so much for doing this, but the scale looks like droopy eyes to me, so I don't know if. That's just my first kind of reaction. So, but I agree that we go by DASG, and part of doing a logo is something, you want something that's very simplistic without too much busyness. And I think when we do t-shirts or whatever, if we decide to put the full name, it doesn't necessarily need to go on the t-shirt. So I don't think we need to worry about that, but I would encourage a very simplistic design that when you see it, people automatically knows what it is.
Yeah, I would have to agree. The shield, there is the war, but to me, it seems, going back to what we said earlier, to me, it seemed more like defense rather than being power.
okay,
So, and then, like I said, the scales I wasn't so sure about. When I first saw the scales, I didn't think equity. I thought like the scales of justice. But yeah, the rest of it, also need to think about how it's going to look when it is used in different use cases.
yeah,
So definitely the year, I don't know when that would ever actually be used because it's so small. It wouldn't go on a shirt. It certainly wouldn't go on a pen or something like that. So, yeah, those kind of things need to be considered.
sounds good. Ultimately, I just want a show of hands. Can we come to a consensus of like, raise your hand if you are for the idea of first and foremost changing the logo? Okay, great, awesome, thank you. So now that we have that in order, let's just come up with quick criteria, like 3 or 4 bullets that I can send to the Office of Communications on what specifically we want.
Well, I think we
Yeah,
need
to come up
to,
with just a mock-up or
Yes.
something.
Yes.
Because we did that once, and DSG didn't like any of what they did.
so what we sent to them is our final, whatever it is. And then what we do is, we just say, can you help us kind of, make sure we have the right colors and
Okay.
make it more professional. But what I would suggest is that it sounds like we've got some feedback, maybe you go back and play with some more designs, and maybe that's kind of what we need is more design options, and maybe bring it back on the 12th. Maybe we can vote on something then. So maybe come up with like 3 different designs based on what you've heard.
Okay, so, I like agree with that in the sense that, yes, we should take the advice and make the new designs. But the advice was just basically, don't use any of this, rather than actually ideas. So that's what I'm trying to ask for, is like, obviously, we as marketing should be like creating more ideas on how to collaborate them and correlate them together. But you just said, no shield, no words, no scale. So
That's what
there was
I
no
feel.
add this, add that.
Feel-
So please just give me like one or two ideas
Quick.
in order to, yes.
We just need to extend discussion. Can I get a motion for that?
You just do a motion for 3 minutes, please. 3 minutes.
Chris?
I move to extend by 3 minutes.
James?
Okay, and then we can just throw me ideas. That way I have an idea of what we should do for the next mock-up. Yes, Kyle.
Okay, so yeah, move the redundancy and then replace it with like some aspect of the equity and empowerment. So if you want to use those words, and then, instead of shield, I know like a lot of like weaponry iconography is common for the idea of power, but you can also try and look into something that like is voice or like voice-based iconography. I'm not really, I can't think of any that comes to mind,
Okay.
but like that type of thing.
That's cool.
I mean, you know how you put like the date in,
Uh-huh.
like outside, I feel like we decide that you put scale or not, I mean, I absolutely have heard that and everything, but like outside, you can put like the polygon, that's right.
Okay,
That was me.
awesome.
Yeah, also, what about the circle design that you had on the previous slide? Like, it's the same thing, just in the circle instead. And then for like the repeat thing, what if you made the triangles red, like the bottom, and then the bottom parts of the scale to be full yellow? Just kind of swap the triangle to being transparent, just the lines,
So do you guys want a design with the scale as an option?
like if you did the scale.
Okay, all right, sounds good. I think that's,
That's all.
yes.
And what I was saying is, I agree with getting a list of ideas and such, but when we send to, Office of Communications, we shouldn't just send a list of ideas. We should send like I said, a mock-up. Because we tried just sending a list before, and they provided us 3 or 4 options, and DSG decided not to use any of them, so we need to do more with the Office of Communication than just send it.
Sounds good. Awesome, thank you guys.
And then just to reaffirm, this is an action item just to have a logo kind of.
Well, we kind of got the idea of the strong votes that everyone is at least getting the idea, this will be the motion. When we get a more final mock-up or a few mock-ups, then it definitely needs to be added.
Okay, thank you.
Good job. The next 2 items on the business agenda are being presented by Adrian. The first item we will be discussing is the DASG Sustainability Habits Survey and its use in the Senate starting next year.
And I did forward the email to you because
Yes.
there are actually 2 surveys, and on the agenda, there's just the first one. So we've got the annual one and then specific for events, but yeah, I'll go into that. Maybe I can. Sorry. Okay, hi, everybody. So this business item is about, annual sustainability habit survey, also called in previous times, the sustainability criteria that we've talked about previously this year. Now we're looking to get it approved. So basically the idea of this is so that we have quantitative data on how DSG is actually doing when it comes to the sustainability of our events, which are the biggest thing that we do other than, talking about. So, we have, a variety of questions here. We have 8 questions total. The first one is asking what percentage of the materials used in DSG events this year were compostable or recyclable? And then a second one, what percentage contains single-use plastic? Of the events that we put on this year, what percentage of the materials used were used from past events? When it comes to food dishes, we said how many of them were unprocessed or minimally processed foods, and then how many of them were vegetarian, vegan. With our Earth Week, stuff, we did find out that one of the biggest, like, factors to overconsumption is our eating habits. And a lot of that is linked to the amount of meat that we consume. So something that DSG could do to be both more, like, accessible and inclusive to people with dietary restrictions and friendlier to the earth is to have less processed foods and to have more, instead of like mostly meat options with 1 or 2 vegetarian options, we could have more vegetarian options with 1 or 2 meat options than people who like meat halal. It's by default halal. It's better for the earth and a lot of the times healthier for us too. So we're just seeing how much we're using. And then when purchasing materials for events, what percentage came from local or small businesses? How much waste is generated? And then a personal short answer spot. Do you personally feel DSG was sustainable this year? This is where you can make your case. If you say, if yes, please explain what you did right. And then if no, please explain where you think we can improve. So this is just the annual survey and the, wait, sorry, here, where's the other one? Because that's got our, yeah, it's basically the same survey, just changed to be specific for individual events and long Senate meetings, like our budget deliberations and elections. It's, it hasn't really, yeah. Okay, so instead it's like used in this event. It's the same questions about compostable, recyclable versus single-use plastic, reused versus bought new, and then if it's bought new, did it come from a local or small business or not? How much waste? Do you feel like the meeting or event was sustainable? And then what was the name of the meeting or event? So basically that's it. So we put in the program's code, it's pending Senate approval, that after every event, and hopefully we'll be doing this as a Senate after budget deliberations and elections, we'll just fill out this survey, and then at the end of the year, we can compile and analyze the data from it and use it to fill out the annual one to see how we did throughout the whole year. That way we can like quantitatively tell how we're doing instead of just kind of guessing, yeah, well, I think we did pretty good, you know, or I don't know, we could have done better. So that's about it. Do we have any questions?
If there are no questions, then we could just get a motion to approve the sustainability survey. Caleb?
I need to approve the sustainability survey.
Chris?
I second.
Moved by Caitlin, seconded by Chris. Are there any objections? No objections, so the sustainability habits survey is approved. Moving on to the next business item. Moving on to the next business item, also being presented by Adrian, it's the Eco Fund application revision. And it's just a revision for the Eco Fund application, and Adrian can present that.
Okay, so I filled out the Eco Fund last year, and let me tell you, that was not easy. Okay, it was not easy at all. So what we did, like myself and a team of my interns, we worked on trying to make the Eco Fund application a little bit more student friendly. Okay, so we kind of kept a lot of it the same, but one thing that we did add in is a handy rubric. We still did keep the full Eco Fund code linked because we did think it's very important for people to read over it and have easy access to it. But we did also add a rubric that you can kind of just like look at and take in and get a good idea of it quickly. We're still requiring the general project information name, the amount requested, and the budget request form for sure. We added a couple examples for the other sustainable project, so they could tell what they might be able to do. Another thing that we added in was with her permission, Diana Martinez's name and email, but they still have to get her phone number to submit the application, so they do still have to contact her and get, like, confirmed that she's willing to do it, because she is the staff member on campus that has done the most eco-funds and gotten the most eco-fund money out of anyone involved on campus right now. We're still requiring them to fill out their project team, give the project specifications, and the info about the project. So a lot of this is still the same. They have in the schedule. So they have to have all of this filled out before they can take it to ES. What we changed was we gave them a little bit of buffer. While we are still requiring them to, if campus facilities recommendation is needed, they do still have to fill out the campus facilities recommendation. But we did put in the head of facilities email, Jorge Rodriguez, because that was one of the issues, was like students would know they'd have to contact facility, at least with my case, but we didn't know where to start. We didn't know who to even reach out to. So we just kind of put the emails on there because that's who they're going to have to talk to. We also said that for the staff advisor statement, that's kind of like a mini essay by the staff advisor that agrees to do it, that they have to write an essay in support of it. And they have to get the campus facilities recommendation. And those were the two hardest parts of the application. So what we are saying is that they do have to get it before they can go to finance and before they can take it to the Senate, but they can take it to ES and see if ES is willing to accept their project, take on their project, and then ES can kind of guide them and help them with those two hardest parts. So they're to be completed after approval from the ES committee and with the guidance of the ES committee, but before the finance and Senate approval. So we are still requiring a lot of the same things. We're just giving them a little bit more time and help to do it. So that's the EcoFund application. Are there any questions? Let me get the motion to approve. If there's no question.
There's no questions. Caitlin?
I motion to approve.
And Isa? I second. Moved by Caitlin, seconded by Isa. Are there any objections? Objections, so the revisions to the Eco Fund are approved. Thank you. Okay. If there's any prospective senators, if they could come up now to write their name down, if this is either the first or second meeting, Senate meeting. If there's any incoming senators, prospective senators. And this is your first or second meeting. So, okay, are there any public comments? No public comments? Oh, sorry.
But don't forget to sign up for the card.
Are there any advisor announcements? Advisor announcements? Are there any advisor announcements on Zoom? Sorry, yeah.
I
Marissa?
do. Sorry, I have one thing. I realized I forgot to remind new incoming folks, please make sure you finish up your training packet by to be submitted to me by June 14th. And don't forget that next Friday, June 7th, is the HEPA Summit. which is the last opportunity for that workshop conference part of your checklist. So make sure you attend that if you haven't already completed that portion. And if you have any issues with their packets, let me know. And then for anyone who was having issues with coming for fall training, if you have not already followed up to confirm with me, please do so. We need to know by, I believe, this Friday. Hunchu, can you remind me what deadline we wanted to give for people to determine their decision about if they're going to change their travel plans to come on time for fall training or step
Yes,
down
this Friday, this Friday.
this Friday. That's all for me.
Are there any other advisor announcements?
Just one thing, there's names in the chat. Can whoever came up to put their name in the chat, can you indicate which meeting this is for you, please? Thank you.
Also, I know some people came in late. So I don't think we may have gotten them all. So if you could just please, maybe, if you can just say in the chat as well, that you were on late, so we make sure to get that in the minutes. We don't want to prevent from that. I know at least 4 or so people came late.
I think presented, so you think I still should.
I guess in your case, no, but Malia's remote. I started the minutes.
Yeah, because I had
Oh, yeah, I know that. No, there's Malia's out, so I started the minutes and then she continued, so.
better. I know.
Mincio. Is this your first or second meeting? Oh, yes, you are. Okay, are there any other advisor announcements? No other advisor announcements. I adjourn this meeting at 5:14 PM.
Thank you. Thank you.